everyone. Welcome to the conversations. As you all know, in the conversation room, we talk about everything and anything. Today we have a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about exam malpractice. Who is to blame? Is it the teachers, the parents, or the students? Let's go to the street and hear what people have to say about this.
I think first of all is the students, and then they are also agents. For instance, in school certificate exams, you see people who sell exam papers and all that. They are also to blame. They are looking for money, but it's wrong. It's a wrong way of looking for money.
I think the both parties should be blamed. Student, parents, and the teacher. The teacher is because even during the exam hall, you will see the teacher would even permit the student to perform the examination malpractice. They may pay, there is a group, they may even pay a bit to the teachers, to the examiner, so that we will allow them to practice it. So in the area of the parents, I may not blame the parents most, because the parents is not in the school, because what they taught them is what they're supposed to carry on. But on the children own, they themselves, they are to the examination malpractice. Because some of them will not sit down and practice, will not sit down and study, will not sit down to read, to practice. They may went to the school and practice another group or whatever.
It starts from upbringing. You have to train your children on how to be serious on their studies. Then teachers, when they fail their duties to teach students, to keep them busy, to give them assignments, or to check on what they are doing, to know really if they are doing what they ask them to do. Understand? Then I said students, when they fail, when they feel too lazy to cope up with the school activities, that's when they will be trying to do one thing or the other in order to pass their exam.
Let me start from the general mentality within the country. You see, we live in a country where we believe that intelligent people are those that do well academically. You know, academics is just one part of intelligence. You know, some people are better with, you know, with their hands. Some people have, you know, they're more creative than others. They may not do so well in school, but they're very creative individuals. That's another part of intelligence. So intelligence is multifaceted, but the general mentality within the country is that people that do well in school are the intelligent ones. You know, if I graduate with a first class, then I'm more intelligent than the person who graduated with a second class upper. You know, if I had 7 A's in WAEC, then I'm more intelligent than the person who had just 2, you know. But the fact is, that is just academic intelligence. So this mentality forces everyone to want to do well in school.
Most parents are to be blamed. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so because people go to buy their ways for their children to get what they did not deserve. They get the results and they cannot defend the results. We go to most schools now, it's even the teachers that are organizing it for other people to come and be writing exams for other children. It's the parents mostly that I will blame the government. Why? Because there is no motivation to motivate the teachers in question. You understand? Because when there is motivation, the teachers will have the zeal to teach the student very well.
Now we've heard from the people on the streets. It's a full house today on Conversations. With me here are my beautiful sisters and a gentleman. I'll start from the gentleman.
My name is Chigozie Chukwu.
Bolanle Babalola.
My name is Anne.
Hello, my name is Diva Mom.
I am Rekiba. Okay, let's start with you, Divan. What do you think about exam malpractice?
Well, first of all, what is exam malpractice? I think let's establish that first. In my view, it's anything that's happening during exams that is aimed at getting students to fraudulently pass. That is not intended to happen at all. Of course, I didn't go look at any dictionary definition. I'm just talking about it from my perspective. The tragedy of it is, you know, I firmly believe that we live in evil times. because it seems to me as if every vice is on the increase.
Sure.
And this one to do with young people is not left out. More and more young people want to pass and pass with flying colors without necessarily reading, which is perfectly okay. Everybody wants the best without making any effort. I mean, if I had my way, I'd just lie down at home and make money.
Sure.
Yeah? But the problem is there's a whole lot of collusion from the part of both parents and teachers, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because these are young people. There's much they cannot get away with if they are not receiving active support from either parents or teachers as far as this particular thing is concerned. If parents and teachers are united, present a united front that, look, this is wrong, we're not going to accept it, it's not going to happen, there will be fewer instances. But the fact that it's on the increase tells me that teachers are in on it, parents are in on it, and encouraging it.
Okay. Being a fresh graduate, what do you have to say about exam malpractice?
I agree with her when she's saying teachers and parents are, but most of the time, it's, how would I put it, peer, I know it sounds stupid, but peer pressure. Okay, let's say I have a group of friends, like we have 4 or 5 friends, and among all my friends, I'm the only one with C, D, E. Most of my friends are having A, B, A, B, A, B. I want to, maybe my parents are preaching to me that, my daughter, please don't cheat, it's going to bring disgrace to my house. I also want to make them proud, like, no, maybe I'll carry results come house and it's D.
Well, maybe your friends have read all through the night.
That's another thing. No, that's another thing. Okay, I don't want to mention him. Let me not say I can't mention him. I have a friend that she reads, like, if, I don't know, I don't think I've read up to the way she reads, but when she just sees the question like this, she just becomes blank.
It's true. It happens.
She doesn't know, like,
people like that.
And then she's like, I just read this thing, like, I saw it, I know it. So she just wants to ask you, please, just even if it's one line, just remind me my come. So that is examination malpractice.
May she not be sitting next to me? I never did that.
No, you're one of those people
because I used to know it, you know, so I'd be like, sorry.
And it's very hard. I had to advise her that, okay, what's in university, or in the university rather, that immediately we start any semester, any first, like, just be reading your book, like the story book. Just even if it's 2 sentences they taught us, just read it.
To understand it,
to understand
not to cram it.
Yeah, so that I will know when it's 2 weeks to exam, you are doing TDB till they break and the rest. No, and then she can't be like me. Like me now, if sometimes I can just stay. Since I read theater arts, we don't have time to read. It's always rehearsals. So what I do is, like, most of the time, my parents are always surprised how I pass exams. They're always surprised and they're like, keep it up. Even though they don't like my course, they're like, just keep it up.
We'll take over with the course.
So I'm like, I think what I do, I think this time one example, like, I was supposed to write JAMB. Yeah, I was writing, my exam was in the next day and I was watching TV. I was seriously watching TV, like, I did not want to miss any episode. And my mom was calling, please go and read now. Don't fail. I think that's the only jam I've written. Please don't fail now. I'm going to call your dad. She called my dad. My dad called me. If you fail, you will meet your box outside the house, blah, blah, blah. I said, no problem. I did not read though. She went off the TV in the parlor. I went to my room, put on the TV in my own room, locked my door so nobody would enter. And then the next day, it was time, I just carried my book. In this big book they have for past question, I just okay. Science, literature, okay. I went to the exam.
Is it that you're gifted or you've been reading?
I have this photo, I don't know how they call it. This
photographic
memory. I look like I don't understand what you're saying, but it's already there.
Oh, okay.
So when
then you're the one of the gifted ones.
But,
yes.
So like she already given up hope that I'm not going to pass this exam. So she was like telling her friends that she did not read, but she's not going to pass. So we are preparing to write JAM for the next year. And so she just told my result like, it's not even 180. It's not even 180. So
that somebody might not understand and would want to indulge in exam malpractice.
She not tell me younger brother, please don't be like her. So there are people that are like that. So I told my friend, if you're not like that, just be reading your book like it. And since you're always with your phone like me, I don't just use my phone to go WhatsApp. I'm not a social media person. But sometimes I just browse about stuff that maybe I heard my teacher, my lecturer say something that is very funny. And I want to know more about that thing. Even though I don't talk in class, I just want to know what he's saying, whether it's right or it's wrong. So I just think it's not just, we can't just blame our parents or the teachers most of the time. Sometimes it's peer pressure. I don't want to fail. My peers are doing more than me. I want to also be in that league. I also want to be among the A class or B class people.
But what's your take on this?
It's a two-way thing. Yeah, you won't say exam malpractice is caused by parents or
family or teachers. As she said, it's peer pressure. Even if your parents are pushing you, when you get to school, the friends you move with go a long way to determine how you do in school. Do you understand? Your level of understanding. Even if you're the kind of person that can't read, like, even if you put 1 million in front of me, once I'm tired of reading, there's nothing that will make me continue reading that thing. I won't understand it. I might be staring at the page like this. No, even while I'm walking, now that I'm walking, there's a point I get to when I'm stressed out, I just want to shut down. When I want to shut down, just give me 5-10 minutes. Okay. If I don't shut down, every other thing I'm doing within that period,
it will not make sense.
It will make sense. So some people are like that. Any other thing I'm reading there, even if you are chewing Nescafe, you are chewing packet of Tom Tom, sweets, is not entering. She that has a photographic memory, some of them are lucky. Yeah, they just open and then you just get the exam and you're like, I saw this thing. Okay, what's this? Straight up, you have answered. Some of us will not say, okay, well, yeah, I read it. But you discover nowadays that parents don't even want their kids to stress themselves like that.
That's sad.
They don't. That's what is happening. Like, you don't. They go to the extent of looking for examination centers where they could just pay for their kids to make it come out with an A. Yeah. Basically, and you know this child has a weak point. Instead of you to start nurturing the kid, get extra lessons and things like that.
As you know,
they don't want to be bothered about it now. They just know she be jam.
So Chigozie, what's your take on this?
Okay, I think in adding my voice to her definition of exam malpractice.
Yeah.
Exam malpractice can be defined as a deliberate act of wrongdoing.
Yes.
As a deliberate act of wrongdoing to put someone in an advantageous position or a disadvantaged position. Now, when you use the word deliberate, it means you must have thought about it.
Planned it.
You must have planned it before acting it out. Now, the next thing is, who are the actors when it comes to exam malpractice? You have the teachers, you have the students, you have the parents, and at the same time you have the government. Now, when you mention government, you're talking about the regulatory bodies, WAEC, JAM, NECO, and the rest of it. Now, what we see today that is so prevalent in our society is students that are lazy. Students are filled with all sorts of gadgets. iPads, IDs, iPhone,
Google.
You know, nobody wants to read anymore. The parents on their own part, they are encouraging their children, miracle centers. They want their children to pass at all costs. They want their children to be better than their neighbors' children at any cost.
Competition.
You know, I remember when we were in the university, people will always say, now who pass? Now you know book. And that is what you find today. Nobody wants to read. Nobody wants to go through the process of understanding, of reading. You see students today, they cram to write exams. And after writing that exam, ask them the next day, what is this? They can't tell you. The danger in this is we are breeding monsters, so to say.
True.
In the nearest future.
True.
That is the danger. So I think we need to address each of these actors. What is, or will I say, what are the solutions and with going forward? I think those are the issues we need to really address.
Yeah,
I want to, I want to come in on this, on something both of you made reference to. TDB, which is till daybreak. For those who are not familiar with the term, it means you start reading sometime late in the night, and then you read till morning, and then you just go take a shower, and from there you head straight to the examination room. It's overrated. It's totally overrated. You know, when you see other people doing it, you get tensed up. See all these people reading for 6 straight hours, and I'm here. People have different learning styles. The important thing, for those who want to put in the effort too, this is just the tip. Know your learning style. Know what works for you as an individual.
True.
Now, she, for instance, she knows that just by skimming through, it will revive her memory, it will rejuvenate her memory, and she'll be able to do a good exam. other people have to read word for word, passage for passage,
maybe 3
and
times, 10
over
times,
and over and over again.
again.
And I went to a secondary school that was quite good. Our history teacher, for instance, one Mr. Agada, I don't even know if he's still alive, because I haven't seen him since I finished school. But he was, I think I wouldn't be exaggerating if I said that's easily the best teacher I've ever met. You can ask Mr. Agada the same question 20 times, and he will look for 20 different ways to answer you without losing patience. He never lost his patience with anybody. He never felt anybody was egging him on or trying to get a rise out of him or irritate. He in measured tones, he will keep explaining that thing, and he would encourage. He will say, please, if there's anything you didn't understand about what I'm saying, please, I'm begging you, ask me questions. Don't let me walk out of this class. And his attitude encouraged it.
But you know, Devan, the problem is the quality of education given then is totally different from now.
Even now.
Do we have the good teachers to teach the way Mr. Agada did back in the day?
That's a good question.
Because you have to understand what you're being taught in class for you to keep it in your memory. If a teacher comes in front of you and just narrates what is in a textbook, how do you understand that?
We had one teacher like that too, whose name I'm not going to call. He will just come.
Please don't.
He will just come, pick up the textbook and read it word for word and walk out of the class.
Just because he needs to be in the class, not because he wants to teach the students.
And you could tell from his attitude that he really hated his job. I don't know what he read that made him, what aspirations he had in life that made him feel so bitter about where he was, but we never wanted to be in his class. You just walk into the class, read maybe 2 to 3 pages of a particular chapter, and that was it. If people were making noise, he didn't care. If you were reading your novel, you didn't. In fact, you said, it's your father's school fees you're
not talking about,
you know, nothing,
TDB.
trying to mentor, nothing.
Yeah. Talking about TDB, I had a past experience when I was in the university, my first year in school. I saw everybody doing TDB. I would see my colleagues in class, and I'll be like, why would I be sleeping when everybody's reading? I didn't know everybody has a pattern of, you know, reading and everything. So I decided, I told my sisters, we were in the hostel, I told my sisters that I would be sleeping in class. I want to read and pass my exams. I can remember it was March 101. I went to class from like 11 p.m. till daybreak. And I didn't sleep. And my exams was for 8 a.m. 8 or 9, I can't remember actually. So I now decided, I took my shower, went back home, went back to the hostel, had my shower, had breakfast, took my ID card and everything I needed for the exams. Went into the exam room. Believe me, I couldn't even write my name. I was sleeping.
Thank you. It happened to me too.
I was sleeping. I slept throughout the exams. I had to sleep. The invigilator came and was asking me, what is the problem? I said, sir, I did TDB. That was the first time I've done it in my life.
Thank you. That's why I say it's overrated.
And it didn't work for me. Literally, I was being dragged back to my hostel.
That's why I said when it gets to the point you feel your brain has had enough, shut down.
I said when I was feeling very much alive, but once it was 8 a.m. and I was, you know, in the classroom, it was quiet, everybody was just writing down. I had the answers, but I couldn't write because I was sleepy.
I had the same experience.
I had to sleep for like an hour. And I think I passed with a D or E because, of course, I got a D. Myself.
I was lucky I got a D.
I got a D too. I didn't carry over the course.
I did the barest minimum I could. I just wanted to be let out of the hall so that I could go and sleep.
You know, I think the whole issue of exam malpractice, it boils down more on the parents because, okay, you said something about being interested in it. You pay attention to the course or the topic that is being taught at that time. You understand everything aside jotting and writing and just taking notes. It happens to me too. If I'm in the class when the lecture is being taught, oh my God, you can ask me anything. Off my notes, I will answer you. But if I have to collect somebody's notes, go ahead. So, on that matter, the parents, I think the gadgets and social media, technology in quotes, takes the best of the time the kids should be using to read, to understand, to learn other things, and they don't even take out time to say, okay, I think it's time for you to drop that. You should use this time to study. If the child is at home with you, he starts from like primary school, he goes to secondary school, okay, good. If he's in boarding school, you don't know what's happening, but you need to check with the school to know how they manage their schedule there to make sure your child has time to study aside going for lectures. Then when the child gets to university, this time to me, he's old enough to take care of himself. I should know how to get things into his head. So from the house, your kid comes back from school, He goes to it, he takes his bath, he sits down with the TV, or picks up his iPad or iPhone and starts browsing and doing things. Wait, okay, lesson teacher comes, brings book, tells you this, and the lesson teacher goes. When does your child pick up the book and actually read? Or comes to you and say, Mommy, hey, see what my lesson teacher said. This is what I learned today. So, do you understand? And then exam comes and you're like, you must download everything. How?
And you know, sometimes the child comes to the mother and say, I have assignment. Say, take the iPad, Google it.
And just copy it. That can happen.
Yeah,
that is very disturbing.
No. I don't have a quarrel with you looking up sources, but you have to read, understand, and credit that source. That's what I tell my child. I say, fine, it's okay. Google up all these sources, read it, understand it. When you have, write it in your own words and reference it.
Exactly, write it in your own words.
I got this thing from so place. Otherwise, it's plagiarism.
Yeah.
If you just sit down and copy it word for word from Google, that is plagiarism. If you are older, you'll be arrested and locked up.
But do they tell kids this?
No, I tell my children. I tell my children that it's okay to Google stuff. Read it, assimilate it, know the site you got it from, reference it. Make your teacher understand that you did extra work. For me, it shows that you are engaged enough to actually look for other sources to read. It's like getting other books to read. There's nothing wrong with it. It's when you go on Google and you copy it word for word for word and you don't ascribe the source. You want to make it seem as if that all came out of your head. That is plagiarism.
Okay.
I don't encourage it.
Okay.
Can you tell us the worst case of exam malpractice or situation in your school?
My school. No, I can't say my school. Let me just start from the
speak generally.
So there was this time I wrote my work pretty early. I didn't write like my people. So my secondary school, they don't allow that. You must be in SS3 fair, right? So I had to go to another school, right? So when I got there, my glasses broke. I couldn't see. And you know your name now. I was at the back. Then one fateful day, I don't know. It was maths. Yeah, it was maths day. And next thing I saw was
my favorite course.
And next thing was that everybody, the men, I can't mention the name of the school, but it's somewhere in Ondo State, and they just carried board and they were blocking all the windows. And I was like, what is happening? Hey, I'm far from my house, so I was scared. Then they were like, one man, they was like, calm down, don't worry, all is well. I sat down. And that's part of some teachers. Wait now, I made some friends. Part of the teachers, I made some friends. They were like, nah, you a Jew girl. Calm down. Is it your first time? I'm underage. Even what I'm writing is kind of illegal somehow because of my age. The next time I saw was very big blackboard. I see they were teaching class. They were writing all the questions. They were solving it. And I was like, I can't see. At least let me even see and see one question. Like, what is happening? Like, don't worry, we pass paper. I was like, please don't pass paper because by the time they catch you, my dad hear about it. I'll just go and look for another family. Maybe your family will adopt me. You can know my family. Then again, in university, I've seen some things in my hostel. Sorry to all the Muslims out there. There's this particular girl. When she doesn't read, she doesn't do anything. I just see her on the bed. But 8 o'clock, she's already ready for exam. Her exam is for 10, but it's already ready. Then you see her with her hijab. Then if you know the number of things that are inside her hijab, hey, she will just go now look all innocent. I'm like, she's winning. She's the first person to be like, search me, there's nothing, search me. She will go and meet the invigilator so that you will not be like, you come special. She will go and meet you special. Search me, please, I'm not carrying anything, search me. So you now, your mind, be going, sit there in the front. She will sit in the front. And most, they don't concentrate on people that's in these people.
Yes, that's true.
And before you know,
she's experienced. That one is skill.
She started moving things. There are other ways though. Then there are always some people, you see them with bedroom slippers. This
you really saw a lot.
I saw a lot though. Thanks to my glasses. They open the middle parts, like you know this I do.
Where your leg is.
Use blades to like divide it, then put the paper inside and wear the slippers inside. You can use any shoe, but mostly don't look because if you wear shoe, you'll be like, okay, you can put the paper inside your shoe and wear it. But on the slipper, so you are walking anyhow and they don't know that anything is in between your
See with this thing she has
said. And they're like, they'll drop their pen. And there's one that was raining one time that I almost got, how will I put it? I didn't do anything, but because I was wearing glasses, they were like, you are among them. You are among people that go out to take paper. So some girls or some guys that wear glasses, they don't go into the exam hall with their glasses. So that's for those that have these short sightedness, I don't know.
Okay.
So when they now look at the paper, they've seen the question, they will now start straining their eyes. You're like, sorry sir, I forgot my glasses in my bag. I'm so sorry. Like, okay, go and carry it. Then they'll go. And immediately they reach there, they open their book. Okay, number 1 was this, and number 2 is this. Okay, and I'll pick the glasses and walk back inside confidently and sit down. And you're in your mind like, I see people, they are good students, no problem. You see some people with crazy jeans and they like fix the thing. Or wig, you know that's what's raining now. Everybody's wearing wig. They say, if you want to move there, you say, no, my hair is bad under, please, I don't want to wear wig. If you know what's inside that wig.
This is to show you that the level of exam malpractice now is advanced.
I'm telling you.
Like, I don't
How do we get the ideas?
Do you understand?
If you're desperate enough
if
to do an evil thing,
you can wear. I don't know. There's one that even shocked me, and I was like, it's not even possible. Like even me, that my glass is like magnifying. I can't do this. Someone wore a face cap, and underneath that side, you know, it's like this. He wrote what he wanted to write there with pencil, and he was like, if he's writing, he'd be like. And I was sitting there close, like, is that something's wrong with him? I mean, I wasn't scared that maybe it's not something wrong with him. And it was like, some people are actually okay. I wanted to like, normally, sorry sir, I don't think this guy is okay, let him go out. But he would do like this, then he'll like, I said, maybe it's okay. Until he now came, I was like, bros, that exam is bad. Sienna, I tell you, sir, I get that. I'm like, I'm not putting anybody again. Even when they say, I want to go and use myself. Some people will be like, I want to go and ease myself. They will go to the toilets, their books are waiting for them there. They will go and read, then they will come back. So what they do in my school most of the time is that before you enter the hall, they say, if you know you want to use yourself, use yourself now.
Of course.
If you know you have any past experience you would want
to share?
Well, I have so many experiences actually to share. Currently, I lecture university students, undergraduate and postgraduate.
No wonder you kept quiet when she was talking.
When I mentioned, talked about the actors of malpractices, for me, I believe students should be held responsible. You see, students, they already have that mindset. Now, who pass? No book. It's a mindset. I tell my students most times when I lecture, don't study to cram.
Study to understand.
Study to understand.
Yeah.
I mean, as I'm speaking right now, I mean, I can remember some of the things I was taught when I was in the secondary school.
Because you understood it.
Primary school and the rest of it. But students these days, they don't want to read. That is just the truth. They don't want to read. They believe that at the end of the day, after writing an exam, they can approach a lecturer, sort the lecturer, pass their exams, and they are good. Now, when you say parents should also be accountable, most of these students are university students, and parents hardly see their children when they are in school. During sections, when they are in sections, they hardly see them.
Prior to university. Know, that's what I said. Prior to university, before they get there.
What happened in the university? You see parents giving a child feeding money for the month. That money, 70% of it goes to sorting.
Yeah. They even buy questions before the exams.
Possible that some lecturers, is it not possible that some lecturers actually demand to be sorted?
Some lecturers,
there has to be a connection.
Some lecturers
somewhere.
actually demand that from students. That's why I said everything still boils down to the student.
No, I won't.
You will see lecturers telling you, if you sort, you have your B sure for you.
Yes.
If you don't sort, anything you see, you take. Trust me, I have math scripts. I will tell you, even lecturers that students don't pay money to, if you get an A, they will give you the A.
Because they don't want to get into trouble.
I beg to differ on that point. You see, the difference between the both of us is much, but we're agreeing on this particular point. Because I suffered from that thing you just said. I'm sorry, that's a lie. There are lecturers that will stand and say, I am sorry, you cannot come out with this grade. And there's nothing you can do. I used to think for ladies, it's the guys that will stand against them. No, this one, it was a fellow woman or lady like me that did it to me. See, I went to a school where for you to come out with first class. Hey, You need to be you need to be the president's child or something.
In my school,
and then if you are bright, you are showing that you are bright. Aha.
They will bring
the
you
lecturer
down.
will show you that so you want to be coming out with A. Only you like this. I did not finish with A. You want to come out with A. That one the parents does not have a hand in it. The child cannot even control the situation. I said my dad had to follow me to school to beg this woman. My dad had to go and beg. What did she do? It's not like she has not submitted her project or she has not finished. Why are you still holding her? Let her go. And I said no. One of the fellow lecturers now said, I'm sorry, but what this woman is doing has dropped your grade completely. As in, I shed tears. I came out with what on a normal day. My younger brother cannot even come out with that result because of her.
I feel as if the story is not completely told. Why was that woman taking on you?
Till today, do you know, I went to the school for a program and she saw me. She saw me, she couldn't work. She was coming towards where I was. She took another way. If you had a clean mind, would you do that?
No, what I'm saying is,
why did you start?
Why?
Why?
Why
it's not, it wasn't only me. You know, I tell myself that women, our biggest problem is our fellow women.
Yeah.
Yoruba people will say, anytime many long the person that knows you is the person that will kill you. It's not a stranger that will kill you. You laugh with somebody every day, the person is not your friend. That's why some people tell you the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. That's the truth. It wasn't like we had any issue. I brought my whole, you tell me to submit, I submit. I bring you where you want to see it, my project and everything. She even took me a course. In her course, I even did well.
She was your supervisor.
She was my supervisor too. And she used to call herself a feminist.
Excuse me, you rubbed that woman the wrong way somewhere. Somewhere that you didn't know.
But she said she's not the only one. She was not the only one.
She didn't do it across board. Some people are naturally vengeful. You rub them the wrong way
without knowing.
So the question is,
it's possible you didn't even know.
No, I
it's let me just get to where I'm going, because I have had instances like this where I feel I'm being hounded. What did I do? What did I do? And later, with the benefit of hindsight and sitting down, I'm like, this was where something went wrong. It's very possible that you innocently stood around and laughed and joked with one lecturer that she's having something that you didn't even know that there's anything between two of them. She's sleeping with him. She takes you on. You will never know that.
Do you know the funny thing? She was one of the people that I respected and liked.
What is matter of respect?
There's something I'm going to understand. There's something I'm going to understand in women. We have our moods. We have our moods. We have our issues.
Men do too.
No, wait. Men, they can quarrel now tomorrow. They are over it. They are moving along. Even if
you have not been a vengeful boss. I have.
No, this is not a matter of doing anything for anybody. This is my school boy in totally different faculty. My friends, they keep telling me, both male and female, that there's this lecturer of mine. They complain about it, but they cannot. Who do they want to report? If you write a letter to VC, it will never reach it where it's going to. So they don't even bother themselves. It's a must. It's like a ritual. It's something you must do. Like past students, they will even advise you, like, so you got that course, you know this so and so person, you must do this. So that is it. Like there's a name, your matric number. If you pay, they will write your matric number. So they have the matric number of people that are paid and people that don't pay. Those ones you already know that if you don't have a carryover, you have and God please let me cross over. It's not that you say, it's not that until you I forgot to greet this woman yesterday, that's why she's doing it to me. It's not
the parents are to blame. For me, I think personally, I feel the parents are to blame, because it has to do in a way, because the moral of the child, it starts from home. Like you said, go to Google, read and understand and explain the offense for plagiarism. That is stuck in your child's mind. He knows in the near future there could be an issue that could take him to court, plagiarism. When you don't get involved in your children's affairs, their lives, you will never know.
I agree with you.
You will never know. It starts early as primary school. That's when it should start.
Yes.
As early as nursery school. Be their friend. When they come back from school, ask them what they've been taught. If you ask your child what you have been taught, he said ABC, tomorrow ABC, next tomorrow ABC. You start to wonder, is that only ABC, or is it that your child is playing and doesn't want to concentrate in school? You pick an interest, go to the school, ask questions about it. And when you see your child saying ABC, and then at the end of the time, he comes out with A, excellent, you're doing very good, hard work.
You begin to wonder through which miracle.
Exactly. Is it only the ABC that he's been taught, and that's the question that he asks? Ask for his books, ask for his continuous assessment, the questions being asked, be involved in his life.
Okay.
And after that,
another sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Another actor that we need to look at in this issue of exam malpractice is the government. We've seen cases where infrastructures across schools, secondary, university is in a dilapidated state.
True.
You see a classroom or a hall that is meant to accommodate 150 students. You see over 500 students, trying to get into that hall to receive a lecture. How do you expect students to understand and assimilate?
Thank you.
You see a situation whereby curriculums are not revised. Something that was taught 10 years ago, 2017, they are still teaching that same issue. They are still teaching those same topics. These are issues. I think for me, government needs to invest more when it comes to education. Now, when we talk about investment in education, I mean, the first thing that comes to people's mind is investing in structures. But for me, I believe the best form of investment is human capacity. How much have been invested in these teachers, in these lecturers? How have they been exposed to modern day teaching techniques? Have they been exposed to courses, trainings? These are fundamental issues that we need to look into too.
Are they being interviewed before they are offered the job?
It must be maybe there's no job. Okay, there's no job. The only job is teaching.
Opportunity.
And you can see that person probably is not even meant to teach.
You just go and do PGD and just enter.
I'm still talking about this government angle thing. Who is the first set of workers that always gets deprioritized? It's teachers. If you go to any state where they're owing salaries, if they're owing other people 3 months, if you check teachers, it's 2 years.
They're always going on strike.
Why would they be committed? There's this joke on social media where a teacher randomly asked his pupils, you, what is the capital of Nigeria? London. Very good. You, do eggs have yolk? No. Okay, nice. Sit down. Where does the sun rise? In the south. Beautiful. That is how it will be until they pay me my salary. And it captures everything. Why should I be invested in developing your child when nobody is interested in what is happening to my own child?
It's not the child fault of the child or the parent. But it's not the fault of the child or the parents.
You have to find a way to rebel too.
If the body is well, the mind is well.
It's human nature.
The one that worries me is, how WAEC questions, JAM questions get leaked before the exams.
Look, before we started this whole thing, you were giving us a bit of insight into how these miracle centers work. Please rehash that thing so that everybody will know how it actually works. Because I always heard about miracle centers, but I didn't know what was going on there. We need to hear it.
The truth of the matter is, miracle centers do exist. That is just the truth.
We have one in Abuja.
One in Nigeria.
Everywhere. You see officials of these government agencies collaborating with secondary school students, collaborating with secondary school teachers, principals of schools.
Make it work.
Making money.
They split the money.
That is just, it happens.
It's so disheartening.
Students don't read anymore. They come into an exam hall. They are solving the questions on the board.
They won't tell you if you want to pass this.
Okay, how do you explain a situation in a rural community where the students don't know how to speak English and they're having A1 in English? How do you explain that? How do you explain that?
And you know what? At the end of the day, we're doing this thing to ourselves.
Exactly. It's our future that is at stake.
You see why I agree with Rakiba that this problem it starts from the home. It's very hard for you to randomly just wake up and decide to start stealing exams in university. On some level, you've been taught or you've gotten comfortable with this is something I can do and get away with. And look, my parents are both dead. Even now, as a full-grown, mature adult woman, there's the kind of idea that will pass through my mind and it will pass.
And you feel like they're watching over you.
I feel as if my parents hear, they will just start spinning in their graves. They will not turn, they will spin into their grave. I don't even want it to happen. So, yes, there's always that odd child that has two heads. That the thing you tell him is the opposite he's going to do. I agree, quite okay. But ordinarily, all these children, on some level, they have parental support. You know, there are some parents who believe that anything my child does is right. So if you come and tell them your child stole,
stress my child.
Who told you my child stole? Is it not Paul that he's always with? That they will defend the child. So that child already knows that even if they
whatever I do, I'll get
holding the thing. When mommy and daddy are going to support me at home, they will do it.
Okay, so what we're saying right now is on a scale to 1 to 10. On a scale to 1 to 10. Will you say, what will you rate the parents when it comes to exam malpractice on a scale
for
to 1
me,
to
5.
5. Okay, what about you?
6, 7 for the parents.
For me, 5.
Okay, what about you?
They are responsible for it. I said that from scratch.
You mean with regard to level of involvement, making it happen?
Yes.
I'll give them a cool 9. Yes, because there's even you here, you are saying there's the kind of thing that you will think that okay, let me do this. Hey, if my father gets
you, but you know, like
you will just calm down.
Children have 2 heads.
I agree.
No matter how much
my dad has cut it for me. I have more than 4. My dad sometimes he will sit us down at home and be like, I didn't give birth to failures. I didn't give birth to dumbness. My dad will be like, if you want to fail honorably. Not that when you fail and I go to your school and ask why is she failing, and they're like, we saw her with 1 paper here, she done in attending class. No, I don't want that. Don't even disgrace my name. Or else the day you come back from school, you see your box outside, you can't find that family. That is my dad for you. There is no, and my mom knew almost everybody in my school, almost all the teachers in my school. So I couldn't even do anything. If I sneezed, come and sit down here. You sit down there. So it was settled. I couldn't even say, please help me. No, I don't. The fear alone, God said, will never let me. Even if I have all the teachers are not, lecturers are not around, I can easily cheat. But just because, like, what did they now catch me? My dad will not hear this something. I beg, I don't want to do it.
What do you say to this school of thought that boys are more likely to do things like
exactly
they to be aggressors? Girls are more scared of getting involved and things like that.
Well, for me, that's a myth. Gone are those days when such statements are being made. I mean, if you go to the universities these days, I mean, you will see women, ladies,
you
girls.
talked about wig. Remember? You talked about wig,
more than the guys.
But guys are more notorious.
More than the guys.
But guys are more notorious.
That's just the truth. So you can't really say that guys or boys are more prone to exam malpractice than women. I won't really say 50-50, but you can say 60-40.
With who in the middle?
The guys do 60% of it, while the
girls are catching up.
Girls, they are catching up. And the way they are catching up, their way of doing this exam, I mean, she mentioned some of them.
Yeah.
We can't see a guy wearing
what you have done to us.
We won't catch a guy wearing a wig.
You know, back in my school, if you are being caught doing an exam malpractice, they take a picture of you.
Wow.
They take a picture of you holding your evidence. If you maybe you jotted something down on a piece of paper or on your palm or anywhere on your body, they will now stand in front of a camera. They'll capture you, take you to the board, and the main board in the school, and then paste it on your name, and you're definitely going to carry over that course or repeat that same class. But I don't know how many facilities do that right now. And then
if they were doing that in most institutions, it would actually be nice, because you do curb it, because you don't want to the stigma that comes afterwards. They get but you know, it's this exam malpractice,
and then the shame. The thing is the shame afterwards, because everybody it develops when they're out of school. Some of the things you want to achieve, you can't get it, so you just go ahead and just forge 1 or 2 things just to act like I actually did do this. Well, it's happening now. We all know that people forge certificates, and then at the place of work, people are not productive, they're not delivering, and they come out with 2-1. That's why whenever I see openings and they say first class or 2-1, I'm like, oh, Jesus, can you just employ people based on their ability, experience, put them to, like, give them something to do practically, and let's see who delivers. Let's stop that first class 2-1 thing.
But you know, initially I started saying something about how at the end of the day we are doing ourselves, and then I digressed. You see, that child whom the parents keep paying teachers, passing this and that, and then ultimately it's done from primary through secondary, the child fails in principle and practice but still enters the next class until finishes university and they come out medical doctor. That child is the one that will go and butcher people. He doesn't know what he's doing. These are the people that will prescribe medicine for heart disease for somebody who has a problem of
for medical doctors. It's actually very difficult to get away with it because there are.
I was just giving an instance of how it comes back around, and that is why we have so many quacks. That's why we have so many buildings
in different professions.
In different professions, we are doing ourselves. Everything that is wrong with
and
Nigeria
that's why there is
now,
no growth in our country.
Everything that is wrong with Nigeria right now, I don't point it to anything else. Other, I'm not even talking about education alone now. It has been a foundational problem of a failure in governance. This sector failed, the other one failed, and the other one failed, and we thought it was okay. You know, the people handling drugs, that one failed and we looked away. Immigration failed and we looked away. This one failed and we looked away. And then now we have Boko Haram.
True.
Yeah. It's a chain. It's like you have Whitlow in your finger and you think you are well because after all it's only your finger. It's not true. They are all intertwined. And any nation that does not develop its human capital is a joke. The biggest resource Nigeria has is not oil. Is the human beings.
Yeah.
And we're almost 200 million people strong. About 10 million Nigerians are currently out of school. What nonsense is that?
That's
the population of the country.
Yeah.
Our educational system has collapsed. Recently, JAMB, the cutoff mark was dropped from 180 to 120 by government because government said that.
What that means, sorry to cut you, what that means is if I score 40 over 100, I'm fine.
Yeah, but
you do 3 courses in JAMB. Four courses. Yeah, so if you have 30.
Okay, 30.
Yeah, 30
over 100.
And the logic,
that's an F9.
The logic that was given by government is that there's so many people going outside the country to go and study. People are going outside the country to go and study because your educational system in Nigeria is crap.
When I heard about the JAMB score, I was really, really angry because you can see a child going for a JAMB exam the following day, playing game, watching TV, and then he comes out with 259, 200 this. How? And then you now take the cutoff mark to 120. What are we going to produce in the near future? Who are our leaders going to be?
You see?
It's a very serious problem that we tend to, you know.
That policy was made in error, and I think it's one of the most shameful policies we have so far.
I agree with you.
I agree with you.
They need to. Talking about the repercussions of examination malpractice, you say you have carryover.
Yeah.
I don't think students don't really care about that anymore. Yes, they don't care about anything. If I get caught, you like my school, either you get rusticated or you get suspended. They don't really care about it.
Why?
This is the school. We are going to this school. We get certificate. We come out. We go to an organization. We give them, and they will not give us a job because they have somebody there that is already in that position. The person might still be in primary school, but there's already somebody in that position. So they already know that the only way they can make money is either by handwork or selling their body or doing illegal things. So they don't really need that certificate. So
first of all, there's apathy.
Yes. They don't really care. So if you get caught when doing examination malpractice, Shebi, you send me, just saved me like 2 years school fees.
2 years stress.
2 years stress
but
of reading and
cramming. But you know some parents will not allow their child to go out of school. You have to suffer the consequences.
That's why some parents, I've heard a guy recently when I was in camp, the guy was like, he used to fail in his school. Like, I can't remember the name of his school, he said he used to fail in his school. So they had to suspend. His parents were like, since he's from the east now, they were like, they were not happy with him. They had to send him to another school somewhere there. And so that school, he doesn't do anything. Sometimes he doesn't even appear. In a whole month, they cannot even see him in class. But he's serving now.
They said to another school. I have someone that I'm not even sure.
They never can
graduated.
That will help him. They can't do a school.
Most of us that were in school with this guy, we're not certain he finished with us because at a point in time we know they rusticated him. If I mention the organization that he served and is working presently, with certificates, you won't believe.
You know, talking about repercussion exam malpractice, what do you think we can do as individuals to help reduce the occurrence of exam malpractice in our own country?
Well, for me as an individual, I think, the government have been preaching about change. Change starts with you. I think if every one of us, we take up that responsibility of ensuring that we blow the whistle on exam malpractice in any form, I think that will go a long way. And if we can also become agents of change, agents of preaching the gospel of non-exam and practice, agents of preaching the gospel that exam and practice is evil. It's a social menace that we need to curb now, or else it will eat us up as a nation. So as individuals, I believe every one of us need to join hands with what the government is doing. Preach that gospel, preach it. Malpractice needs to stop. Whether in primary schools, whether in secondary schools, whether in the university, at all levels, even at home.
As early as we need to invest more time into their kids from the house.
Because even nursery school is not safe, because you could see maybe they have like a home teacher that comes home to tutor them. They get paid, and then the child does not do anything in school. But because you want to be paid every month, you don't want to be sacked. You go during exams, you give the child
Parents
answers.
need to do a lot.
You need to be watchful.
Parents need to do a lot.
Exactly. Walale, what's your take?
I just feel everything boils down to the parents. What you're imbibing your kids from home is what they grew up with, and once they're outside your house, there's little or more you can do to control their actions. So if you start training them from the house, you make them develop a habit of studying, curiosity to know more. I want to invest more in me. I want to do this, I want to do that. And the extracurricular activities to help. Because sincerely, it's not everybody that has to go to school. It's not all kids that necessarily need the education. Trust me.
Do I agree with
Learn how to read and write, learn the necessary thing, but there's a skill you will be good at.
But you still
need to go to school. Yes, primary, secondary.
You need a basic.
You need the basic. That, because we feel if you don't have a university certificate, you can't amount to anything, and that's a lie.
Well, I've seen dropouts make a lot of money.
My point exactly. So if your child, if you realize your child wants to do more with the skill or what he is interested in rather than going to school, won't you just encourage him?
I think what you're trying to say is that some children are not academically inclined, which is true.
Yeah.
We can't all be, like I said, we all have different learning styles based on the kinds of personalities we are. So some people will definitely do far better at a skill. But of course, it's very important to have that base, at least secondary school, be able to read and write, be able to do some degree of calculations, which no education is ever wasted. So that'll still come in handy. So but it's a matter of, prestige, pride, and when no parents, especially when you've attained a certain level, maybe mother is a PhD, daddy has 2 master's degrees and things like that. Out of your 5 kids, 2 just finished secondary school and they are learning a skill. No parent wants to. No parent wants that.
It's after they made money, they went back to school to do degree.
My dear,
it can happen now. You go back to
agreeing with you. I'm talking from the perspective of a parent now. It's a very difficult decision to make.
I do not have issues with that.
I would
have issues with it.
It's a decision I would take with great pain. That I am even working on my master's right now, and then I have this child that I'm stopping at secondary school.
You're not stopping him.
No, he wants to stop because the child is not academically inclined. You understand? I'm agreeing. And then
when you force it, that's when exam malpractice and all this
comes in. Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That's because our educational system needs to be configured differently.
Exactly.
So that it accommodates both those who have skills and those who are inclined academically.
True. So what do you have to say to the people in school?
You're thinking about it.
Exam malpractice, how to stay safe, how to get it right.
Okay, this is for both lecturers and students. Lecturers, teachers, lecturers. You should be open. Like when you should be open to explain more or be friendly. I don't know, should I use the word friendly? Because there's some teacher, like you said, Mr. Agada, he's always open to help. Some teachers will be like, sorry sir, I don't understand. Like, if you don't understand, you have your textbook. They should be able to, they should want to make their students understand something more about that.
Invest more time.
And then to my fellow students, please, people should not block me on the road though. Because anytime you're writing an exam, from my own side or example, and you forgot something or you can't remember anything or you are just blank, just put full stop there and continue. It's better to fail honorably than to bring disgrace to your family. I don't know if it's from my own side. So that's what I have.
And for me, I would advise government to try and incentivize the educational system. Make people, okay, you ask people, what do you want? I want to be an engineer, doctor. Oh, I want to go into music. Nobody ever says, I want to be a teacher. Why can government not step up with policies that make teaching attractive? So that people who have, like me for instance now, I read mass communication, I'm currently doing my master's in management, I have all this experience as in broadcasting, journalism, I'm currently in community relations and everything. if you make the teaching experience worth my while, what stops me from going and teaching at the secondary school level? Whoever I'm teaching is going to gain so much from me. It won't be just theory. I have years of experience that I'm bringing to the table as a teacher. You know, I have dignity in what I'm doing and everything. But I remember even when I was young, people that were failing exams, they will send you to school of nursing. We are going to send you to come and become a teacher. It was a truth.
Yeah. It's the value we give to teaching that affects us.
It's not good. So it's not enough to sit here and pontificate. Teachers should be more in this, and then you are owing somebody 2 years worth of salary. Why should that person take any interest?
They are very important to us.
Papa has money now to be paying school fees for you to come and sit there and be a dunce. And here nobody has paid my salary for 2 years. Nobody knows what's happening to my own children, and I should now come and invest in building you up. I know where they're coming from.
Well, like we all agree, the parents should be involved. The teachers should be involved in the success of, you know, getting our students well educated.
The government
as well. It starts with the government, I guess.
Yeah.
Creating, you know, the basic learning skills, creating a conducive environment for teachers. Yes, for teachers and for the students to learn. You can't expect a child to understand anything under a hot sun or in a very, you know, cramped space. So we have to, you know, give it a priority. Education should not even be an option. It should be a priority. Every child should go through the learning process the way it should be. And parents, please be watchful of your child. It starts from home. You have to know what your child is doing in school. You have to know how well. You have to know the IQ. There are certain ways to tell you the IQ of your child. You have to understand, okay, this child has, you know, learning disabilities. How do I help him? Not helping him in a way of, you know, getting him pass exams or, you know, tipping the teachers in school just because your neighbor's child is coming first in class. You want your own child to come first in class. It doesn't work that way. You're not helping your child. You're causing a problem in the society as well. So with this, we're going to wrap up our episode for today about exam malpractice. I hope the viewers at home, you've learned 1 or 2 lessons from this conversation today. I am Rekiba.
I'm Chukwuchigozie.
I'm Anne. The name is Mom, Deva Mom.
Thank you, viewers, for watching. Join us on our next episode. Same time next week.